So I think I can sit down because everything I plan to say is over there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this award.
Thank you for the name of the members of the
And thank you for the names of the members of the deaf community. So it all began with 4 Jesuits who are buried here at Holy Cross Cemetery. Right over there. One. The first one wrote the first sign language book for Catholic concepts and a prayer book for deaf Catholics. The second Jesuit began ministry for the deaf Catholics in New York City, St. Francis Xavier Church. The third Jesuit, who was a provincial, who did ministry with them and wrote several articles about deaf Catholics. The fourth Jesuit, he spent over 40 years of his priestly life doing pastoral ministry with deaf people, as well as Catholics, Protestants, and Jewish. Most students, faculty, and staff members who walk through the cemetery, they don't have a clue that there were Jesuits who worked to help deaf people in so many different ways. Spiritually, it gave weekend retreats and missions, baptisms, First Holy Communion, confirmation, hearing, confessionals, weddings, funerals, then pastorally, with home visits, helping them find jobs, making phone calls, giving them rides, acting as silent interpreters between them and their hearing families, friends, doctors, car dealers, bosses at work, and so many more people. They did all these things before the days of social services, professional silent interpreters, computers, laptops, iPhones. The Deaf Studies program here at Holy Cross started because of these 4 Jesuits in the cemetery. It was the logical result of their work, who believed in the words of St. Ignatius of Loyola. Love is shown in deeds. The Deaf Catholic Archives is a different story. It began with me visiting a deaf widow living alone, who brought out some old deaf Catholic newsletter articles for me to take home. And then a few years later, I visited a community of deaf nuns in Montreal, Canada. And it was during this time of the Quiet Revolution in Quebec. And that was when the hearing nuns went through the deaf nuns' library and threw out everything in English into the trash. There was one deaf American nun who saved some of the materials and hid them in her bedroom closet and under the bed. So after I met her, she begged me to save them by bringing them back here. And this was the informal beginning of the Deaf Catholic Archives. And then eventually, Father Brooks, he asked if Holy Cross could have a collection. Could have the collection. And they are now the college archives on the top floor of Dinan Library. In 2022, Holy Cross received a grant for the Council of Libraries and Information Resources to digitize a part of the Deaf Catholic Archives collection. And about 30% of the collection is now available on Crossworks. Researchers have started to use this hidden collection for their work. One author from our deaf community, from Lana Portatino, she used the Deaf Catholic Archives to write her book, which is called Be Opened, the Catholic Church and the Deaf Culture. This is the first book that's been professionally written about deaf Catholics. During this past semester, for the first time, the Religious Studies Department offered a course on deaf Catholicism. I sat in this course and was very pleased with all of the presentations. The professor for this course did a great deal of research in the DCA, and she knows her stuff now. I hope that Holy Cross will continue to contribute to the church and to the larger society the hidden history of deaf Catholics worldwide. Thank you.